Hey guys, it's Tara back with you. I decided to come outside. It's a beautiful day. It's getting ready to rain here in a little bit, so I figured I'd sneak outside and listen to these birds out here and record some videos. The lighting's actually nice because of the overcast. But I was asked to speak on a topic that I've been told that I am. It's the topic of confidence. And it's interesting because I didn't really think about myself as a confident person, and people started giving that feedback to me. But throughout my life, I've looked up to people that exhibited confidence. And so I'm going to talk on that a little bit. Over the last probably 4 years, I've had people that have given me feedback, and they're like, Terry, you're so confident. I even had a friend ask somebody else that had been a prominent person that I had been observing for a while, and my friend goes, if you could describe Tara in one word, what would you say it is? And they stopped for a minute. They kind of looked around and they were like, confident. And it's interesting because then I started thinking about, well, what is confidence? What does it look like? What does it act like? What are the people that when I look at them and I see they're confident, like what are attributes? What are things that they have within themselves that helps them exude that quality, that attribute? So, the thing that I think about is I always think about a dance floor. And, you have the people on the side that are kind of like dancing real low, and you have the people in the middle that are so you have some people dancing really good, some people not so much. And then you're sitting there and you're like, I really want to get out there and dance my ass off, but I'm afraid of looking like an idiot. I'm afraid of what people might think. And then you have the people that are like, I don't fucking care. And they go out there and they're having a blast. So when I think of that scenario, and the reason why I think about it is because I've been there. I was that person that wanted to get out there and dance, but it was so, what are people going to think if I get out there and I don't know what I'm talking about? The weather. So I'm going to put my hair back for a second. And what I thought about was, as I was like, why do I care what other people think? Even if they do think I look dumb, does their opinion really matter? What do I want to do? I want to get out there and have fun. I want to express myself, and so when I think about that, I think that people that don't have confidence, it's because they're insecure. So let's talk a minute about what it's not. Insecurities. What are insecurities? They're things that we fear, or things that we struggle with inside of ourselves. And the funny thing is that we all have insecurities, and when we have people sit down and tell us about their insecurities, what typically happens? Everybody around them, some people are like, oh, I struggle with that too. Or somebody else will be like, oh my gosh, cool, let's talk about that. I didn't know that was something you struggled with. Please tell me about it. People take these insecurities and they hide them and they try to put them away. And here's the thing. It's a secret, actually. I've learned that if we admit and put our insecurities out in the open, it becomes a strength. Because number one, we don't have to hide anymore. And it's like, well, who cares, And if people are going to not like you because of your insecurities, and they're going to be shallow and overlook all of your other amazing qualities, then they probably are people you shouldn't be around to begin with. Like I have yellow teeth, I smoked cigarettes for years and I drink wine, and quite frankly, I'm not going to stop drinking wine. And okay, my teeth are not the whitest, but guess what? If you are not going to be my friend because of my teeth, then oh well. And I'm still going to smile. I'm still going to show you my teeth because it's part of who I am. I'm going to accept myself for any and all that I am. So that's one thing. I think a lot of being confident comes with experience. I've done a lot of traveling. I've been around a lot of people. And so you see different behaviors and you observe things and you realize we're all the same, guys. We all are insecure at times. And it's just literally going, I am doing my best with what I have. And so on that topic, it's going, I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not good at. So when you walk into a room, you don't have to be like insecure. You can walk up confidently and be like, yeah, I know how to draw a star. No, I do not know how to draw a penguin. If you you can get out there and say that, because guess what? You're not going to know how to do everything, and you're not going to be bad at everything. You know, even the most insecure people know how to do stuff well. Hey, maybe they brush their teeth really well. Hey, maybe they know how to put on their shirt really well. You know, be comfortable with who you are and what your abilities are versus what you're not good at. And when you start realizing, like, oh yeah, everybody has these things, and then you start walking into a room, and then think about your posture. You know, when somebody's insecure, you'll see them, they got their shoulders slumped. But when you see a secure person walk in the room, put their head up, shoulders back, they walk in like they own the place, they got eye contact, you know. And so I will tell you, that's something my father always told me to do, is always keep eye contact. When you shake somebody's hand, you shake it firmly, you know. And so you walk in, you know who you are, you know what you're good at, you know what you're not good at. But I think there's another piece that a lot of people don't take into consideration. I think it has to do with integrity. I think it has to do with character, because when you know yourself, and when you can self-reflect and know who you are inside, then you're also going, you know, you're not afraid to show people who you are, because you're not afraid to look inside of yourself. And I think people that are the most confident are genuine, they're authentic, they have nothing to hide. So when they walk in, they're like, here I am, what's going on, guys? You know. And I think, those are the things that I would say. And I know when I talked about being confident, you know, the person that asked me, you know, first off to speak on this subject, they were talking about, Tara, I want you to talk about independence. You know, you've been through so much, and yet you come out stronger every time. And I'm like, yeah, but what is it? What is that? You know? And I think at the bottom of it, it's that confidence. It's like, you know, no matter what, I'm gonna be okay. You know, it doesn't matter who's around, what's going on, like, I'm gonna be okay. I'm confident of that. You know, and a lot of people are afraid to mess up. Like, somebody trips over their feet and they feel retarded, they feel dumb, they feel stupid. Oh well, laugh at yourself. You know, I mean, seriously, we all trip up sometimes. We all make mistakes. You know, mistakes are mistakes. It's just that, you know, you're not gonna do it on purpose. You know, why be afraid to laugh at yourself? Why be afraid to admit your mistakes? When you just take life lightly like that, and when you just accept yourself for who you are, this is who I am, you can walk in and you can present that person in front of people, and you can be confident, sure of yourself. I think there's a couple other topics that are going to roll out of this, like self-worth. And I also want to talk, we won't go there. But self-worth, it's a big one. You know, when you know who you are, that's when you can come in and you can own that room. So that's all I really have to say on this topic right now. I think I might pop another video out tomorrow about, I believe self-worth is probably the next one I'm going to tackle. So I'll be seeing you guys soon.